Hi everyone, No Thinny Sleep Tano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for another great album segment where I go over some records that have dropped in the past month, remind all of you, hey, these are good, try them, there are some positive reviews for these, give them a listen, they're worth your time, the reviews and everything for these records are linked down below, let's go! I'm just realizing what an international episode of great albums this is going to be, starting with the Italian band AdNauseam. Their record Imperceptible Impulse is one of the most incredible death metal LPs, technical and progressive death metal LPs that I've heard in quite a while. The vocals and guitar tones on this thing are gruesome. The drumming is fantastic. There are some really creative classical influences worked into some of these tracks as well. The whole thing is just a winding torture chamber of death metal hell, very much in the vein of like, I don't know, a frickin' Gorguts, that sort of thing, but AdNauseam does put their own spin on it. Again, metal fans, death metal fans alike, give this thing a listen, it's great. Next, I want to point to the new Nick Cave and Warren Ellis album, Carnage. Stylistically and sonically, I feel like this is very much in the same vein as the recent trio of Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds albums, but I guess maybe in a sense it's a more even collaboration between Cave and Ellis this time around. Very pillowy, very, I guess, open, formless, almost ambient in some places, though I will say, even though the instrumentation across the record does share that kind of linear explorative quality, there is a variety of instrumental and emotional palettes to be heard on this record. Really some of Nick Cave's most fiery stuff vocally in years, since he seems to use this as an opportunity to, I guess, move a little bit away from the forlorn moods and attitudes that kind of colored much of the trilogy that has been coming out through, you know, the Bad Seeds name over the past decade. While, yes, in many respects, I think this record is stylistically a bit of a detour. Maybe as a result of that, there will be some Nick Cave fans and Bad Seeds fans that don't hear it as a result, but look, at least from my perspective, this is just as good as pretty much the trilogy that the Bad Seeds have been dropping over the past decade, and I think it's one of the most exciting things Nick Cave has come out with in a while. So yeah, loved it, thought it was quite good. Next, I want to shout out Spanish artist C. Tangana for this record El Madrileño, a very good blend, which is quite novel and refreshing of Latin pop, alternative R&B, hip-hop, as well as, of course, flamenco. Yeah, there is a lot to be desired on the vocal end of many tracks here, and some of the songs on this record can come off quite underwhelming, but look, as far as modern Spanish music goes that tries to pull together so many different sounds and styles, I mean, this is like it. I mean, of course you have people like Rosalia out there who are doing great stuff, and this record is by no means perfect, but this is certainly on that kind of cutting edge, and anybody's kind of really messing with that wave, I think this is a must listen. Shout out next to Australia's own Genesis Owusu for this wonderful record over here, Smiling with No Teeth, an enthralling concept record that dives into themes of depression, racism, all with an exciting series of instrumentals that dive into hip-hop, synth-funk, punk rock, and everything in between, and that's without going into how charismatic of a vocalist and rapper Genesis Owusu himself is. I mean, this is a really bold, exciting debut album, and considering like his ambitions on this LP and how well he executes those ambitions, I think this is really the start of a beautiful career, and I'm looking forward to it. Then to finish things off for this video, I want to give a shout out to the Paris band Faux Chateau for their record here, Palais d'Argile. It is a wonderful combination of French chanson as well as art pop, electronic music, and art rock. Not really a combination of sounds I usually hear, much less done well, and they just so happen to be done incredibly well. on this LP. This very lengthy, explorative, dynamic, impassioned LP with great performances, production, and singing from front to back. So yes, those are the recommendations I would like to make to you in this video. Check them out. Again, reviews and everything down below, and you're the best. Let me know what you thought some of the best albums of this past month were, and I will see you guys in the next one. Transition, over here next to my head, is another video that you can check out. Anthony Fantano, great albums, music, listening, ears, breathing, eating, drinking water, forever.